Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dai, and today I'm sharing with you my manga haul for the month of February. So, I am still feeling not too well. I have a bit of a cough, and so if there's some weird editing, because I'm having a coughing fit. I just had one a little while ago, so hopefully I'll be able to film this video without coughing too much, but you can definitely hear my voice is a little bit weird. But in any case, I do have a haul for February that I'd like to share with you. So let's see if I can get through this haul without coughing too much. Okay, so right off the top here, I have Servamp 21. This is by Strike Tonica, published by 7 Seas, rated teen. So this is a story that starts off with a guy who likes to keep his life simple, and he finds a cat, takes it home. The cat is not a cat, but a vampire, and his life ends up being complicated. My daughter really enjoys the series. I and my daughter have watched the anime. We really enjoyed it, but I have not gotten past volume 1. Really need to. Daughter is up to date, so this is a purchase that I made for my daughter. She really enjoys it, and so had to add that one to our collection. I will say all of these were purchased when we had gone to the Barnes & Noble for our Monochrome Manga Club meeting in February. This is volume 15 of Meshin Yozakura Family by Hitsuji Gondaira. This one's published by Viz, rated teen. So this story follows a guy who has been orphaned, and he's in high school, and he ends up joining his best friend's family, only to find out that they're a family of spies. And so he needs to learn how to become a spy in order to not only save himself, but to protect the family as well as his best friend. Really enjoy this series. I started reading it on the Shonen Jump app, and it was so good that I said if they ever publish it physically, I will collect it, and so that is what I'm doing. There is an anime out now. I have watched a few episodes of it. It is fun. I enjoy it, and I really enjoy this series, and so I'm continuing to collect this, even though we are past where I have read so far. But I just noticed that there is a cat knitting on the back of this volume. If you know me, you know that I enjoy knitting as well, so that's fun. I have volume 1 of It Takes More Than a Pretty Face to Fall in Love. This is story and art by Karen Anzai, published by 7 Seas, rated teen. I am not sure what this is about. It says it's a high-speed romantic comedy featuring a senior with dangerously good looks and an incredibly resilient junior with a serious face fixation. So I thought it sounded fun. Decided to go ahead and try that one. I have volume 1 of Good Night Market. This historian art by Chise Ogawa. This one is published by 7 Seas, rated teen. We saw this one on the shelf. So I had no idea what it was about. It says, step into the pulsating heart of Blood Night City, a metropolis teeming with vampires thirsty for blood and humans eager to sell. In this dark urban landscape, Sotetsu toils as an employee of the Blood Control Bureau, an organization determined to stamp out illegal vampire activities. But when he crosses paths with the enigmatic Mazu, a self-proclaimed vampire gourmand, Sotetsu's world is suddenly turned upside down. For the first time ever, a vampire craves his undesirable blood. But could there be more to Mozu's desires? As their destinies intertwine in a web of blood, prepare for a gripping tale of seduction, intrigue, and salvation unlike any other. So I thought it sounded really interesting, and I really liked the artwork on the cover, so I decided to go ahead and pick that up to give it a shot. I have volume 6 of Tamon's B-Side by Yuki Shiwasu. This one is published by Viz, rated teen, so this is an idol manga about a girl who has her favorite idol and the idol's group, right? And she needs to have a job in order to make money, in order to purchase the idol's merch, right? And so she ends up being a housekeeper, a house cleaning. She joins one of those agencies where they go and dispatch people to clean people's houses. She ends up getting assigned to her bias's home. And in that happening, she ends up learning about his off stage persona, what he's actually like, which is actually very different from how he is on stage. And I'm really, really enjoying this story. I think I've read 4 or 5 volumes so far. I read a couple for the manga advent calendar project that I did at the end of 2024. I can't remember if these volumes crossed over to 2025 because I did read some of those volumes in 2025 in January. But really, really enjoyable series, and I like the interactions between our characters, and some interesting things happen as far as like the idol industry in this one, and so I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading more. Volume 30 of Blue Exorcist by Kazue Kato. This one's published by Viz, rated older teen, so this one is about a guy who finds out that he is the son of Satan. He also has a twin brother. And he was raised by a priest or a father, and the father gets killed by Satan. And so he decides that he is going to go to this exorcist school to become an exorcist to defeat Satan. And so it kind of follows him and his brother at this school, and kind of political things that happen, and uncovering secrets and finding out more about the guy who had raised him, and the fact that there are other people who they know now who also knew the guy that raised them, and making friends and learning how to control their abilities and what abilities they actually have. It's really, really interesting. Lots of like mystery going on with different factions of people, and I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm on a pause with this right now because daughter has read, I believe she's up to date, and she knows that I cannot stand cliffhangers or things that happen where I have to wait for a long time in order for those things to be resolved. And so she had actually told me that I needed to stop reading because the point at where she's at, she's like really, really having a hard time because the story is not resolving fast enough. And so if she's having that hard time, she knows that I'm going to have a hard time. So in any case, it's a story that we're really enjoying. It's come such a far way from where the story started that even though like the main element of the fact that this guy wants to take out Satan is still there, there's so much more at play, at stake right now. And it's just a really, really interesting story. And so had to pick this one up to continue our collection. I have volume 1 of Home Sweet Home. This one's by Minami Mizuno. This one's published by 7 Seas, rated teen. This says it's a teenage drama and heart-pounding romance all under one roof. Tired of having to change schools because of her dad's job, Moemi, a first-year high school student, is allowed to stay behind at her parents' home on the condition that she lives with the daughter of her dad's boss. This girl, however, ends up being a boy. And not just any boy, but one of the most handsome and popular boys at school. Moemi's formerly humdrum life becomes anything but as she traverses the excitement of living with a hot upperclassman. So I thought that sounded fun. Lots of fluff there, but I think that one is going to be fun. So pick that one up. Volume 5 of 365 Days to the Wedding, story and art by Tamaki Wakaki. This one's published by 7 Seas, rated teen. So this is a story about our two characters here who work in a travel agency, and that travel agency is opening a new branch in Siberia. At least that's how it happens in the manga. And they specifically state that they're looking for single, unattached employees to fill the jobs at that new agency. And these two characters do not want to leave Japan. And so they devise a plan to say that they have become engaged, so that takes them out of the pool of consideration for those jobs in Siberia. And so it kind of follows them getting to know each other, making sure that they play their cards right with their company and things like that. It's really, really interesting. I enjoy watching these two characters get to know each other. and I'm really, really enjoying the journey so far. I did start watching the anime adaptation, and I'm enjoying that. I have also watched the live action drama adaptation. I enjoyed that as well. I'm interested to see if the ending of that is even close to the ending of what this manga series is, though. I'm not quite sure if they are spot on, but what I've read so far, as far as the volumes go, it's pretty close. In the live action drama adaptation, though, they say that they're opening a agency in Anchorage, Alaska, not Siberia, but the manga is Siberia. And volume 5 of My Love Mix-Up by Wataru Hinekure. This one has art by Aruko. This one's published by Viz, rated teen, so this is really a story about a mix-up that happens between a guy who he ends up forgetting his eraser and asks his neighbor, who is a girl, to borrow hers if she has an extra, and she does. He finds out that there is a name on the eraser, and so he thinks that that's his neighbor's crush, and it happens to be the guy that's sitting in front of him. And in his shock, he drops the eraser, and the guy in front of him picks it up and sees his own name on it. And so that guy thinks that the other guy likes him, and it's just a big old mess. And so it's really funny. We read the first volume for the Monochrome Manga Club in February. Really enjoyed it. I don't know why I didn't collect the rest of it, but I only had up to volume 3 or 4. And so I picked up volume 5, and we'll be continuing with the series. We'll collect the rest of it. The very final pages of volume 1 was just like, what? It was really surprising, but I enjoyed that little twist that was thrown in, and I'm enjoying the interactions these characters are having with each other, and so looking forward to continuing with that one. I have volume 1 of the Spellbook Library by Uta Isaki. This one is published by Kodansha, rated teen. So this was an English first Kodansha Reader Portal series. I recall seeing this on their X or Twitter account. And so I thought, since it was out in the wild, I'd give it a shot. This says, in the world of the Spellbook Library, spellbook librarians protect townsfolk from dangerous spell beasts, sealing them in spell books that hold more than just magic in the smart new fantasy series from the creator of Is Love the Answer and Sayabito, Swords of Destiny. Perfect for fans of Cardcaptor Sakura and Witch Hat Atelier. I have not read Cardcaptor Sakura or Witch Hat Atelier yet. And so I thought it might be interesting to check this one out. I do enjoy a fantasy story. Plus, this has to do with books. And so I thought it should be interesting enough for me. So I thought I'd give that one a shot. I have volume 5 of Imitation by Kyungran Park. This one is published by Yen Press, rated teen. This is a really heavy volume, weighty. This is a story. It's another idol story. It's Korean, though. And it is about a girl who is in a new kind of rookie group. They're just trying to get their name out. And so this particular girl has been getting some attention for kind of looking like another very popular idol. And so the kind of thought is that any advertisement kind of thing is good advertisement. So even if people are getting upset at the fact that they think that she's trying to copy this other idol, at least they're getting their name out. And so you kind of follow this particular character of this girl group, even though the girl group is kind of still there, but particular character as she gets these opportunities to do commercials and things on her own, be in a drama, and she comes up against another guy from a male idol group who doesn't like her at all, doesn't like the fact that it's being perceived that she is copying this other idol who he knows. And so they get off on the wrong foot really fast. And as they end up like working together more, they get to know each other more, and they end up kind of liking each other. And so I really have enjoyed what I've read so far of this series. I think I've read 3 volumes. We've watched the live action adaptation and really enjoyed that as well. It is a bit different though, the live action adaptation, but you get a lot of like that musical aspect with the live action, whereas when you're reading on paper, you can't really like hear unless like you imagine it in your head. I like the progression of the relationship. I like how they cleared misunderstandings between each other. And I'm enjoying this one a lot. And so had to continue to collect that one. I have volumes 11 and 12 of Tokyo Revengers in the Omnibus edition by Ken Wakui. This was published by 7 Seas, rated older teens, so we are reading this as a series read for the Monochrome Manga Club, so these are the volumes that I will be reading this week. I'm really enjoying this story. It's about a guy who is now like in his 20s, and he's watching the news one day, and he finds out that his middle school girlfriend was murdered by a gang that he used to know when they were in middle school. And as he's pondering this, he ends up going out to a train station to, get on with his day. And he ends up getting pushed onto the tracks. And right before the train hits him, he goes back in time to when he was a middle school student and realizes that this is his opportunity to try to change the outcome of his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend being murdered. And so we kind of follow him throughout this journey of going back and forth in time, trying to prevent his ex-girlfriend from being murdered. And then finding out all of these things that he didn't even know about that was going on when he was that age. It's a really interesting series. I normally don't enjoy stories that have a lot of back and forth in timeline, but I think this mangaka does it really well. He also has a way of making you really like feel and connect for all of the characters that are presented. This cast is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger though, and I'm starting to have a little bit of a hard time connecting faces with names and things like that. And so we have decided to start to watch the anime to try to help solidify some of that in my mind. And we've only watched the first episode so far. Very, very close to what I remember reading. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to watch and read this series and talk about this series with my members. Like I said before, I believe I'm the only one or my daughter and I are the only ones in our club that have not read this series, so it's really been interesting to discuss some of the things that have happened, especially with there being such an age gap between me and the members. How I'm viewing things is kind of different from how everybody else is viewing things, and I think that's just because I'm so much older than the rest of the members that I talk to on a regular basis. But it's been an interesting conversation. I'm looking forward to continuing with this one this week. Had to pick up volume 7, 8, and 9 of Haikyuu by Haruichi Furudate in the Omnibus edition. This is published by Viz Rated Teen, so this is a sports manga story about a high school volleyball team. This school used to be at the top many years ago and has fallen throughout the years. And now with their new incoming freshmen, they feel like now is the time to kind of make their move and try to get back to the top. It's a really, really heartwarming story. I love this story a lot. We've watched the anime several times, and this is my second read through of it. We are reading this as a series read with the Monochrome Manga Club, and so I'm really, really enjoying it. And we do already have the single editions, but had to double dip and get the omnibus editions as well, so that at least if the daughter and I would like to read at the same time, we can. Saw this on the shelf while we were at the Barnes & Noble, and so I decided to check it out. This is Dracula's on the Night Shift. Art by Tsukumo Asukusa. Original story by Satoshi Wagahara, and character design by Ako Arisaka. This one is published by Yen Press, rated older teen. So I didn't realize when it was on the shelf, it was just like this. So I couldn't see like the side, and I was like, oh, this is a thick one. This one says vampires might be weak to sunlight, but even they can live in modern society thanks to the night shift. Yura Toraki is a young vampire working graveyard at a convenience store in Ikebukuro. One day, he saves a woman named Iris, who turns out to be a member of the Dark Cross Knights, an order of exterminators who target occult creatures. Suddenly, Yura has found himself living under the same roof as his should-be nemesis. Can the unlikely pair cohabitate in peace, or is this a bloodbath waiting to happen? So I thought that sounded really, really interesting. I am looking forward to reading this one, and I think it should be quite enjoyable. Then we had to collect volumes 16 and 17 of Soul Eater in the perfect editions. These are published by Square Enix, manga rated older teen, and these are by Atsushi Okubo. I believe volume 17 is the final volume. Finally, so now I think I have it all, but this is a world where we have people called Meisters, I believe. It's been a while since I've experienced this series. I did watch the anime and really enjoyed it. We read the first volume with the Monochrome Manga Club many years ago, and I enjoyed that as well. But it was right around the time when they started releasing the perfect editions, and I wanted to collect the perfect editions. And so I haven't read any more, but if I remember correctly, there are these Meisters, and they have these weapons where they can like reap souls, and in order to like gain their like highest abilities, they have to reap so many. And we follow a specific pair as they go through this kind of quest to reap that number of souls. And there's like mystery, and you come up against other Meisters. And it's really interesting as far as what I remember. But like I said, I haven't read the manga yet besides volume 1. And so I'm really, really interested to get into this one. And I'm glad to finally have the whole collection on my shelves. And so the last thing I have here is a light novel. And so that is Whoever Steals This Book by Noaki Fukamidori. This one is published by Yen on ages 13 and up, which is teen. It says, Where Will a Story Take You? So I picked this one up because I believe this is a mystery. It says, Literature is everywhere, high schooler Mifuyu goes. The great-granddaughter of a renowned book collector, she lives in Yomunaga, the town of books, and her father runs a vast library known as Mikuda Hall, which has been handed down through generations. However, Mifuyu doesn't share her family's passion. In fact, she hates reading. But when several books are stolen from Mikuda Hall, triggering an ancient curse, Mifuyu must catch the thief by entering the books she despises. With the help of a mysterious girl named Mashiro, she embarks on an adventure through the worlds of various stories, and maybe she'll find that reading isn't so bad at all. So it does sound a little bit familiar to me with the going into books. Like, I want to say Inkheart is where they go into books. In any case, there's a little bit of a mysterious element, and I thought maybe I might be interested in picking this one up for March Mystery Madness, which is a reading event that I'm helping to host throughout the month of March, where we read and promote mysteries throughout the entire month. This is our 10th year, my 9th year hosting, my 10th year participating. And so I always look for mysteries to hopefully add to my list. And so I thought this one might be a nice one to try out, especially for March Mystery Madness, or at least to give as a recommendation maybe. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes for me. But that is everything that I picked up in the month of February. Really, really excited for a lot of these titles, and I'm very happy with all of my purchases. So let me know down in the comments below. Have you purchased any of these? Have you read any of these titles? If so, let me know what you thought of them, but please no spoilers. And if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a stack of books emoji down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and will really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.